Hey everybody, Phil Friedman here at 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California, where it's gusting to 30 knots here today. Two reasons I'm coming to you: to give you a weather update, number one, and to see if these microphones will perform well in this really windy weather, because we intend on getting you out into the elements and some crazy weather this year in 2024. Most of the boats are laying in. There's a whole bunch of people who showed up to go fishing on the half-day boat Monte Carlo, but it is way too windy. And if they were watching the morning briefing, they would have known that. We've been telling you for about a week now that Sunday would be a no-go. But we wanted to give it a little bit of a try here for you. I want to send you all my best this lovely Sunday morning. As always, we'll have our Friedman Adventures charter list out shortly. In the coming week, you'll be able to join us on our 2024 trips. Really windy, really gusty. Hope you can hear me, and wishing you a really great Sunday.
Okay, good morning from San Jose. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Just walking the dock here. There's the old rig. Just getting washed down. Got a trip tomorrow in the next couple days. But everybody's working on a Sunday here. We're Mexico. Viva la Mexico! Where no one watches the news and there's no politics here. Everybody just works. And there's no looting going on because you'll be shot. But anyways, besides all that, fishing's really good. Lots of marlin and dorado right out front here, half a mile. Untie the boat, go out fishing, come back around 3, start having cocktails. But yeah, harbor's full. We're plugged up today, man. Just hope everybody has a great day. Get out there and go fishing. You want a charter? Oh, Phil Friedman has my phone number. Probably put it on the website. But come on down. Half day, 3/4 days. If you got a dream bucket fish, we'll try to get it off the list. If not, we'll have a great time drinking tequila and talk about the one that you wanted. All right, boys and girls. There you have it. It's beautiful. Come on down.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Man, it is so great to be with you all here this morning, this beautiful Monday, the start to the work week, and what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, I could hardly stand down here. It was so windy, gusting to like 30 knots, sand blowing everywhere. It was really, really crazy. And today, while it's a little cooler, it's about 43 degrees here early this morning. It's going to warm up, and the sun's already coming out. It's actually beautiful. The ocean's calmed down and things are looking good, but the weather's coming up on us again. I'll have information on that. We'll check out the long-range situation. Let's go down to San Jose del Cabo. Actually, we did that on the lead-in. You heard that crazy Captain Sean Morgan. And incidentally, you will have the time of your life fishing with him. If you're headed to San Jose del Cabo, give him a call. You saw his number on the lead-in. And we have got long range and so much more to talk about. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good. Actually, I spent a whole lot of time here this morning talking to a guy who's a bird expert. And he actually comes down here and makes sure there's no endangered birds and clears the guys to start with the sand replenishment. And I was showing him the video of what I thought was an osprey. Some of you have said is a red-tailed hawk. Others have said is a Cooper's hawk. Anyway, I got into that with him. I showed him the video, and he's like, I'm not sure what that is. At first, he said red-tailed hawk. And then he said, definitely not an osprey, because osprey only eat fish. And so the mystery continues on that bird. If anybody out there knows an ornithologist, a bird expert, let me know so we can get this thing properly identified. Hey, before we go any further, it's a very special day today, because there's a young boy out there who's becoming a great fisherman, and it's his 7th birthday, and I want to wish him a happy birthday. Owen Parcell, good morning and happy birthday from Friedman Adventures. Of course, his dad, Isaac, and his brother, Ethan are big members, along with Owen, of the Friedman Adventures family, and their mom, of course, who has played an integral part in cultivating his love, Owen's love for the outdoors. Owen, I hope you have lots of birthday cake. I hope you have a really special day. And from me to you, happy 7th birthday. Have a great day today. All right, let's jump into it. We'll go south of the border. We kind of already covered Cabo San Lucas. Sean Morgan telling you that just a few miles outside of San Jose del Cabo, they're catching marlin and dorado and all kinds of other great species like yellowfin tuna. It has really been good. Long range, Royal Polaris with some darn good yellowfin tuna fishing. Really steady, nice grade of fish. Several boats are down there on it, and they seem to be doing really, really well right now. The Intrepid has also been down there. There's also been some pretty decent wahoo fishing. Remember, San Diego-based long-range boats right now are on their long trips where they run 16 days or 16-day trips, and they run several hundred miles down the Baja Peninsula in search of primarily those giant yellowfin tuna, but also wahoo. And there's a myriad of other species that you can catch on those long-range trips. So that is looking really, really good. Long-range fishing going very well. Back to the Baja Peninsula, just to tell you that San Quintin, some good yellowtail fishing there at times. It's been really good, and the yellowtail signal has been early and excellent. Only 140 miles south of the border. There's also plenty of rockfish up there in the Ensenada area. We continue to see big bonita being taken, bonito, I should say, being taken down there in Ensenada, and plenty of colorful rockfish, occasional yellowtail there also. And that begs the question as to how those day-and-a-half trips out of San Diego in our very near future that focus on Punta Colonet, which is 120 miles down the Baja coast, how they are going to do. And if I were to look in my crystal ball, I would say you can take it to the bank on the rockfish and big lings and all of that. You're going to have that. But really looks like we're going to have a nice little early bite on the yellowtail. And that's the one thing about those Colonet trips that's magnificent. Not only do you get all those great eating rockfish, you got to pop on those yellows at times. And I mean a real pop. Sometimes on a trip you'll have 20 yellows on the boat. Sometimes you'll have 40. Sometimes you'll have 100 plus. Yo-yo ironfish with a heavy line. Keep our fingers crossed that those Colonet trips in our very near future that run out of San Diego will be cashing in on some great fishing. Don't forget tonight, Tackle Shop Confessions with Sam De La Torre. Can't wait. It'll be 6 p.m. and we will be live from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. It's the perfect time to ask questions about gear. You can talk to Sam about what he has planned for the upcoming Fred Barthol show in Long Beach, California at the end of the month. That is a show you can't afford to miss. The Barthol show, January 25th through the 28th at the Long Beach Convention Center. Yes, Sam will be there. I talked to Paul Strasser yesterday. Independent Sport Fishing, he will be there. You can come by the Independence booth. I'll be there at times. I'll put my schedule out here shortly and sign up for our 5-day trip, April 4th through the 9th. We got a great 5-day trip for you. Bluefin tuna, white sea bass, halibut. God, I mean, that trip has so many possibilities. It'll be a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great people who've already signed up for that trip. Call Independent Sport Fishing today or drop by the Bart Hall show and see Paul Strasser, Mark Paisano, and the great crew of the Independents. You are going to love it. That should be fantastic. All right. Now, as we get you and start talking to you about what's going on here, and I do have a weather alert for you here in a second, but we take a look. Man, it couldn't be any more gorgeous than it is right now. And there's still some really good wintertime structure bass fishing going on right now. Dan Lightfoot and Michael Limon, a couple of great members of the Friedman Adventures family, were out on the Monte Carlo just the other day out of 22nd Street Landing. Dan said, Phil, I really got to hand it to Captain Walt. I mean, he anchored up, we started catching bass, and then we kind of swung off the spot, and Walt said, hey, we got to re-anchor. Let's do this again. And he did that about 4 or 5 times, and man, they had some really excellent fishing, and he said Walt worked his tail off to make that happen. So, Walt, I saw you yesterday. Great job, as always, there on the MC. And with this kind of weather, they'll probably get back to some good fishing. Dan said that fishing fluorocarbon with a 2-ounce sliding egg sinker and a big hook, like a 5-0 hook, was the best way to catch those bass. Michael Limon had a limit of bass on that trip, So really great fishing for him. Lori Heath, an outstanding person and an outstanding angler fishing on board the Premier out of San Diego H&M. Landed yesterday. Nice fishing, mixed sculpin and sand bass. Really, really great bite down there. And this wintertime bass bite and sculpin bite really has been excellent and seems to be continuing right now. So again, keep those tackle tips in mind. Fish that fluorocarbon, and remember, you're going to lose a lot of sinkers. You're going to lose a lot of gear because those fish live near structure, and that structure is where you are going to find them. So that is really good stuff. We got a little visitor coming by here right now. So really, really some excellent fishing. We see that up in Redondo, Marina del Rey. We've seen some really good bass fishing up there in that neck of the woods also. So hopefully that is going to continue. Incidentally, it is whale watching season. The gray whales are making their migration from the Bering Sea up in Alaska down to the warm water lagoons of Baja, California. You guys can walk through there. Don't worry about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you guys. And those grays are headed down to Baja, California right now. But we've seen a lot of orcas this year. Orcas are feeding on dolphin from San Diego up here to Point Fermin and even above that out to our Catalina Island. And they've also been seen attacking a few of those gray whales, making their southbound part of their migration right now. So a lot of interesting stuff going on, no question about that. Back to this local bass fishing, it has been pretty darn good. Fish that fluorocarbon, and there's a variety of different landings that are fishing it. There's also that halibut fishing that has been going on, and we've been getting a really great signal on halibut early this year. Again, we had it all last year. Probably the best halibut year I've seen in my lifetime took place last year. And part of that whole food chain thing is that squid, and there's just so much market squid this year, way more than we saw last year. And we had a lot last year also, but that squid is providing that part of the food chain that attracts predators like halibut, white sea bass, and so much more. I think we're looking down the barrel of a really outstanding spring coming up for the Channel Islands, which has been the epicenter of sea bass fishing down here. Maybe we'll even get a bite at Catalina Island. I mean, a consistent bite where everybody's on the backside. You get 40, 50 boats back there, and they're all catching. Maybe we'll get back to that one of these years again. I know a lot of you remember those kinds of years, so we're watching that for you very closely. Bonita fishing, as we mentioned, there's a lot of that big bonito down there off Ensenada, but we've also seen it up there around La Jolla and several other areas. Peter O'Toole, gotta know who his mom's favorite actor was. Peter O'Toole with a nice bonito there fishing around the La Jolla area, so that is also really good to see. January the 21st, we'll be at La Fogata in Sherman Oaks, California from 1 to 3 p.m. It'll be a little meet and greet, and it should be really a great time. Come on by and say hi to the Friedman Adventure family. Become part of the Friedman Adventures family. I'll have information on all of our charters. You'll be able to sign up right there if you like, or just ask all the questions you'd like. Hang out with us, grab some great grub down there at La Fogata and have a good time. That's La Fogata in Sherman Oaks, California, January the 21st, 1 to 3 p.m. I saw Opsin Fluorocarbon's Greg Brown mention that he's probably going to be there, and I know we'll have a lot of other great folks. It's the pre-Bart Hall celebration at La Fogata, January the 21st, 1 to 3 p.m. Come on by. I'd love to sit and watch you eat a taco while I eat just the meat. I'll have the carnitas or something like that. So that should be a lot of fun. I mentioned weather Wednesday afternoonish, and Thursday looks like it could be another one of those days where it's going to be a no-go. Thursday is the day that looks like we are going to have a lot of wind. Remember, when I talk about weather, for the most part, I'll let you know, but I'm not talking about the rain. I don't really care that much about the rain. I'll let you know just in case you don't want to get wet. My main preoccupation is wind, and we're going to have it on Thursday, and it's going to get really nasty again. It's going to be very, very windy. You know, depends upon where you find yourself, but it looked to me like that wind will be from the north, past and above the Channel Islands, all the way down to Ensenada. Thursday looks like it's going to be a very breezy day. I want you to be careful about that. So we'll watch that for you very, very closely. Also in the surf, perfect surf fishing day here today. Man, you could get it done. You're fishing bait here. You got to get out beyond that breaking wave, that is for sure. But if you do that, you can come up with some yellowfin croaker. There has been some spotfin croaker. There's still some late season corvina around. Water temp, not sure what it is right now, but it's been around 60 degrees. And also that occasional nice halibut that you can take in the surf. Keep that in mind. Those halis love to bite that lucky crab, but they'll also bite, of course, on a little chrome jig, a crocodile. The other day, well, it's probably been a month or so, but I caught a halibut that was probably legal. I didn't have time to measure it, so I tossed it back. But that flatty was caught on just a small little Castmaster. So that works really, really well. And that was a day when you saw birds picking. They were picking bait up out of the water like that. So it made sense. Match the hatch. Throw at them what they're feeding on. They're used to feeding on it. It's not a shock to them. They see that kind of a little shiny thing moving through the water like the bait fish that we saw that same day. Boom, had a bite right away. Don't forget, you can get all your bait, all your tackle, and everything you need at your Southern California surf fishing headquarters. Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. You can load up down there at Big Fish, whether you need trout gear or surf fishing gear, whether you need bluefin tuna stuff or marlin stuff. They've got it all for you at Big Fish. And don't forget, when you get deeper into winter and you're fishing the surf, you're definitely going to want to fish bait. And they have a vast array of bait for you. Lobster has been fantastic this year. It's one of the best lobster years in recent memory, and several landings are running those kind of lobster trips. You have the Sport King and the Gale Force out of LA Harbor. You've got Redondo running those trips. You've got Dana War Sport Fishing San Diego, and they've been doing pretty darn well this year. Private boaters also been cashing in with their promarahi.com, and I say that nets because you can go there and get great tutorials on how to take more lobster and how to be safe. And please be careful around these weather events. There was an angler out the other night who got pushed in toward a jetty and it got very, very dicey. You have to be very, very careful about that. Please remember, lobster love to crawl after a storm, but you don't want to be doing it hoop netting during the storm. You have to be very careful. And same thing applies to surf fishing or fishing on jetties and rocks. Got to be very careful. Thursday is going to be a day where you should not even be contemplating that at all. Yesterday, Tim Marquez. I love Tim. He is just a blessing in my life personally. Tim brought down a ton of donations for Mexico. Greg Bates and I are going to be down in Mexico this weekend. We're going to be moving quite a bit of stuff down there, but we have so many items, clothing and medical supplies and so much more. Greg and I helped Tim load a whole bunch of more much needed items into 22nd Street Landing. I've got to thank Independent Sport Fishing and 22nd Street Landing and each and every one of you who make people's dreams come true. And it's all of us here in the USA reaching our hand across the border to help our brothers and sisters in Mexico Lindo. And man, it is an honor for me to be a part of this with all of you because you, Tim Marquez, and people like you, Joe Gallagher, I'm not even going to start mentioning people because there's way too many. All of you make this really, really work. All right, my friends. Owen, happy 7th birthday. Enjoy your day today. You totally enjoy it. Have fun with your family and your loved ones. I hope you have a memorable and special day, and I hope you get out fishing here very, very soon. Watch that weather on Thursday. Don't forget, Independent Sport Fishing. You can join us on that April 4th through the 9th trip. And La Fogata, don't miss it, man. 1 to 3 in the afternoon, January 21st. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see you there. We'll try to put together a raffle or something to make it jazz it up even a little bit more, but it'll just be great to spend time with you. Don't forget, hit that like button, share these videos, tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Please make sure you do that. And once again, for all the success you've funneled our way, I can't thank you enough. Have a great one. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.